my birth daughter was first born, I would go and see her about every 2 weeks, just because the first year was really hard. It was definitely painful, and I just felt like I really needed to see her. I know that I could have potentially been okay at loving my child, but I definitely couldn't have been emotionally ready to handle being a mom. I know I did the right thing. I definitely know that placing her in adoption was the best thing I could have done for her.
David Michael, hi.
Last night was a long night. My son woke up at 2 o'clock and decided that it was time to have a party. He did not go back to sleep until 3:30, and then he was up at 5:30 and 6:30, and finally I called in the morning at 7.
Hi. My son is in the bathtub with my sister watching him. This is usually our nighttime routine to be able to, for me to be able to go around and do other things around the house. Hi. My sister will grab a book and go sit in the bathtub with him because he loves being in the bathtub. I'm very fortunate to be at home and to be surrounded by a family that loves and supports me in my decision.
Are you ready? Okay, let's go. My life today is completely different than it was before. Now, I'm married, first of all. I have a 2-year-old son, so it's a completely different kind of experience than raising a daughter by myself. So, look over here. It's really hard for me to talk about the fact that I consider abortion because my daughter's almost 15 years old, and I certainly wouldn't want her to feel like she was ever unwanted. But I think what I wanted was I wanted not to be afraid. I didn't want to have to tell my parents. I didn't want my future to change.
And she's 19 and a half or 49? 99.7. Holy cow. Pretty cool.
Today at the hospital was kind of hectic because everybody was there, and I was just expecting to go to the doctor.
Leading up for us. Did you see her yet? What? Did you get to hold her yet? Not yet?
The adoptive parents were there the whole time. They were there the whole 3 days that I was there.
Walker?
Lots of times people think, oh, I could never do that. How could you give away your baby? How could you give up your baby? And I always correct people to say adoption, it's not about giving up, it's placing. Because they don't just say, I give up, I'm giving away my baby. The biggest myth is the women that I've worked with, and it's been 15 years of experience, they all loved their baby. Every single one of them. Different reasons, different circumstances, different ages, but each and every one of them loved their baby and would have parented if her circumstances were different.
It changed.
Yeah, she's like, whoa.
That helped.
This week, my child would have turned 13, and when I think about that, it's really sad. It's like a sense of loss and regret, but each year it gets better. I'm able to look at it and say, okay, that's something I did, and be able to move on, and not be affected in a negative way, but it does every year. It affects me.
I'm a mom now myself, and when I gave birth to my own daughter that I was going to keep, my feelings changed a lot because I realized that being a mom and giving birth are two totally different things. Because just because you give birth to a child doesn't mean that you're automatically like a natural mother. Me and the adoptive parents have a very close relationship. I consider the adoptive mom one of my close friends. I'm definitely happy now, and I've actually found that open adoption has changed my life in so many ways that I wouldn't have imagined.
Can you say bye-bye, David?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I am proud of who I am today, and that's the most honest thing. I was not myself before I got pregnant, and